Welcome back. This is Billy with Coach Dooley's List. And once again, if you're enjoying these coaching videos, please like and subscribe to the YouTube page and follow along on all of our social media platforms. Today, once again, I am here at Bethlehem Christian Academy with head softball coach Chandler Pentecost. And Coach, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and so I have actually had you on my list for a while, and then somebody told me I needed to get Coach Rob, and somebody told me I needed to get Coach Elmon Kabadi, and so I said, well, I've got three, and so I try to get as many as I can in one place, so I'm glad. And the reason, I didn't tell you this, the reason I have you on there is, we played each other several years ago. You took a big chance in scheduling that game, and I'd say that from a standpoint of you had just taken over, I believe, and we had a team that was pretty good. We needed a game, and I always respected you for that because you did not shy away from a challenge. But then even too, just kind of watching your teams at the tournaments the next couple of years and that kind of stuff. So I applaud you for, like I said, not shying away from competition. And I've always really, really respected that. So thank you for letting me come over and visit with you.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, and I just jump right in and just tell everybody about your coaching journey and how you ended up here.
So Coach, I played in college, and so the first coaching opportunity that I had was right out of college. My coach had asked me if I wanted to GA at the school afterwards, and so I did that. I was an outfielder, a slapper, so kind of a niche area.
Oh yes.
So I mainly just worked with those outfielders, slappers, bunting, base running, that type of stuff. But I loved the game so much. It was hard to be around it right after getting done playing with it. So I stopped coaching for a while. I was like, after that season that we did, I just needed a break from it because I loved it so much. I just needed to get away, kind of find what my identity was after softball. So then it ended up, God brought me up here to Winder, Georgia. I was here for just to take some class credits to shadow. And so they ended up asking me, well, hey, like we're starting our softball program. They hadn't had it in a while, and it was the first time they were bringing it back. And they were like, can you help us coach? And so I was like, sure. And so I said yes. And I ended up helping coach. The head coach was already here. And I did that for a couple years and still worked with outfielders, slappers. Fell in love with coaching again, fell in love with that side of the game. Because I think I had a couple years to get out of the playing role and really focus on the coaching role. And then after that, I ended up taking another break because I ended up starting a family and traveling with my husband. And so I ended up, the head of school called me. It was about 2 years. I took a break for about 2 years. The head of school called me and was like, hey, would you want to be our head softball coach? And for me, I'm a very soft-spoken person. I'm not a big motivator, and I'm a niche. Like I did outfield. I never touched the dirt. Don't know pitching or catching.
That's why you got turf now.
Yes. Goodness. Even that I would still struggle with. But I just didn't see myself as a head coach. But she saw that in me, and I was thankful. But I was also building a house and about to have a baby and all the things. And so I was like, well, I'll help the new coach you bring in. But I don't think I can step into that role yet. And I really think that was just the enemy, like telling me that I couldn't do something, that I wasn't worthy or wasn't good enough to do it. But still, I took that year, and I think God just kept almost giving me hints that, no, you need to take this program over. Like, this is what I want you to do. And so I was thankful that my head of school saw that in me before I saw it in myself. And so I said yes to it the next year, and I've been here for 5 years.
No, I love that. And I hear so many stories from coaches about how somebody saw something in them that they didn't see yet. And I do definitely think that's a God thing as well. We always talk about it's God's plan and God's timeline, and you can shy away from it. I never quote stuff, and I'm actually not even going to quote it, but I was reading, the story last night with Jonah, and all the things, and hey, we're going to put you where you need to be, and all those kind of things. But where'd you play out in college?
I played at Chipola College for my first 2 years, and then Thomas University my second two.
I think I talked about this. I don't know if we had this discussion. So did you
Maybe.
play for the Hendricks?
I did.
So I've talked to both of them on the phone recruiting years ago,
Uh-huh.
but I've never met them both because they left, didn't they?
They did. They
And
went
then-
to East Tennessee.
And then for the Sanders family at Thomas.
I love them. Yes.
So I know Ralph very well.
He's
So
great.
when he comes up to the tournament all the time.
Yes, he does.
Yes,
I
every
always
year
see him at that tournament.
with his
yeah.
dog.
Yes, the little dog, yes.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
we made that connection. So, in being kind of, well, I know you did some work so you coached at Thomas.
Yes.
Okay. So you got to work with them, and then I mean, Ralph coached for 30 something years in high school. So you get that knowledge, and then from his daughter, Jessica too. Right. But, you get ideas from them, you come in and work under a coach, then you come back and work under another coach. And I know you kind of formulate things like, hey, this is what I want my program to be. So what is it now with all the stuff that you took from them and then really kind of build this program back up? What is it now you want your program to be known for?
Well, it took me some time to really figure that out because especially not being a head coach, it's kind of changed over the years what I want the program to be. For now, it's mainly, and obviously we're a Christian school, but I want the girls to show that like softball is a way that we can worship God. Like it's a gift that he's given us. So the main thing is I want them to play for the Lord first and foremost because it's just softball is a tool that he gives us in how we can learn different things through the game of softball. So I want them to play for the Lord with how we work, how we attack everything. This past year, we do a word every year. And this year, our word was a Hebrew word called avad, which meant how we work and how we serve each other is a way that we worship God. And so how we attack our warm-ups to how we play in games, if we give it all that we have, like it's a way that we can work, and it's also a way that we worship God in the process. So definitely playing for the Lord, and we play public schools. So seeing that, like, if we play with joy, that we're not afraid of the outcome, because we know God has already written the outcome, that we can play freely, have joy, but also show other schools like there's something different, and that's because we're playing for the Lord. And so that's really kind of how at first I was more about like wins and losses and working hard and doing all those things. And I realized like that'll come if you trust the process and you're playing for the Lord in the process. The wins will come, the rest will come.
No, and I think so many coaches, young and old and in between, in the beginning it is because you do think, oh, well, if I don't win, I'm going to get fired, and or that's where the parents are going to be mad or the kids and all those things. But once you start to realize that whatever that foundation is, that you build that program on that, then the rest of it is going to take care of itself. So no, and what was the word again?
Avad.
Avad.
Yeah.
No, I love that. That's really cool. So now, you've been, you've coached a little bit in college. You've coached here for several years. What's one of your just favorite coaching memories? It could be funny, make you smile, make you laugh, make you cry. What's just something that just a fond memory you have of a good coaching story?
Oh man, there's so many. It's hard
Tell
to
as
pick
many
just
as you
one. Coaching story, and I wouldn't even say like. I think it would be a story as a coach, but not necessarily in a game situation.
Oh, most of them are on the bus anyways. Yeah.
So that's what, even this past year was the first year we made it to state, which was a cool experience in itself. But even after we lost, it was our last, after we had just lost, we decided we want to stay one more night just as a team, and we had played late anyways. But all of us got together and we played board games in the lobby, and we ate. And we just had so much fun together. And so I think that would be my most favorite memory, even though we had just lost. Like, it was just us loving each other, having fun together.
When you know this, and I've been in those situations too, like everybody's season comes to an end at some point in time. The fact that they want to stay together even one more night, and you have those that are graduating that are not going to play again. But just the fact that, again, they don't want it to end. Like those are again, when they're our age, they're going to remember that. They might remember, we lost. They're not going to remember the score, how they did in the game, that kind of stuff. And that speaks volumes to the foundation that you're building, which is awesome. So good job there. All right. So now that, you've did have somebody that saw it in you that you needed to be a head coach. I'm sure as you have kids now that they're getting older, and you'll start to see those things in them. So if one of those players ever did come to you and said, Coach Pentecost, I think I want to be a head coach one day, what piece of advice would you give them?
I think first I would say stay true to yourself. When I first started, like I said, I'm kind of a meek person. Like, I'm not very talkative. I tried to, I thought I had to be tough, and I thought I had to be hard. And I realized that that wasn't my style of coaching, and I had to be okay with that. And that the girls would respect me more if I was myself.
Right.
So I think definitely like find your style, how you want to measure success, and then also get good people around you. Because, like I said, I was a slapper and an outfielder. So I brought in my husband, who played professionally, was a catcher, and so he handles pitching and catching, which is not something that I would be able to do. And then we also brought in another guy that played professionally, and he works with our infielders. And when we brought in another girl that works with our infielders that played collegiately, and then in different walks of life too. Like, so you have the older male figures, and then I brought in a younger that's more relatable to the girls, and then we also have one that's more like the girls can come to about anything.
Right.
So just having the entire dynamic is so helpful for me. So I don't feel like I have to take on everything, and then also things that that's not my niche. So it frees me up to like follow that, what I do know. And then I would say my biggest thing is have a heart for the girls. I think if you love the girls and they know that you love them, you go to their sports outside of softball season. You show up for them when they need you. You go to their travel ball games. Like, you just show them that you care more about them as a person and their heart. Then it makes the tough conversations easier.
Yes.
And I think it also shows parents that you love their daughter, and when those hard times come that you have to make game time decisions, that they're going to know that you have their daughter's best interests at heart. And that's really would be my big one.
No, you so many good things there, and one, doing things, and again, not for show, but you really truly do love your players, and you do those things. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it helps when those hard conversations come, because now you have kids.
Yes.
You have a family. When you load your kid up to go to Marietta to watch a softball game or to wherever, like, parents realize that, like, hey, you're taken away, but because it is important. I mean, you don't make those trips just for show, to do it. But I think the other one that I think a lot of young coaches need to hear is, and it's not always easy to do, is putting that staff together that is well rounded, because being able to delegate things is not easy as a young coach, because you feel like you have to do it all. But once you can do it and you can do it to the right people, it helps, because there are things you don't want to deal with. There are things me and you might not be completely different equipped to handle. Conversations with, again, teenage girls. There are some things you might want to talk about. There's others like you need to go see her over there. So no, those are all awesome things. So next one is kind of the fun stuff, rapid fire. You don't have to give any context, just an answer. All right. So somebody coming to Bethlehem Christian, the coach says, where's the best place to go eat in town? We're going to take the girls out to eat after the game, after the softball game. Where do you send them?
Smoking Po' Boys. So good.
It's
wings.
Good. It is good. And it's a lot bigger inside than people realize. It looks small from outside, and it's phenomenal. Brunswick stew also good. If you do you listen to music before a game? Do you have a pregame hype song?
The girls do. I'm always monitoring what they listen to.
Yes.
But I couldn't tell you what it is because it's in Spanish, and I just pray there's nothing bad in it.
Oh, okay. I heard that one. Yes. So there you go. Whatever gets them pumped up. All right. So you've been head coach for how many years now?
It's my 5th year.
5th year.
I know.
Isn't that long?
So
oh my
crazy.
Goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
So in 5 years in coaching, you start to play against other people. You probably play against some people multiple times. Who's the team, or who's the coach you love to compete against, either because they're just a great coach, or you're always going to get the best out of their teams? Who do you just love to compete against?
Well, it's a region rival for us, so that makes it even more important. But I would say John Stewart at LCA. He's a good one. I mean, I respect him, the way that he runs things. Good guy, but also a fun team to play.
He's also a vendor on my website. So
Oh,
Elite
cool.
Sports,
Yeah.
yes. John does a phenomenal job. Love it. Never coached against him, but I know he knows how to get some uniforms together too.
Oh, yes.
Nick, what is your pregame ritual now? Not the girls, you. Like, what is something you do before the game to get you ready?
Well, one thing I always pray, and pray that, Lord, please don't let this be about outcomes. Don't let me get caught up in the wins and the loss. Just give me wisdom. Help me to be able to coach the girls the way that you would want me, that would point back to you. And then I ask my husband for help making a lineup card.
I love it. I love it. Last one. Who's somebody, could be here, could be any other sport, could be anyone. Who's another coach that would be great for me to go and interview?
Brittany Lewis. Have you?
Hebron. Yes, Hebron.
Yes. Yeah.
And I will get her added to the list for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, last question. The whole reason I do these interviews is to try to make sure people realize that I do have a website. The website in and of itself is boring. Hopefully, coaches use it at least once a year when they're trying to prep for the season. But the whole idea behind it is just to have vendors on there that coaches trust. The only way I put anybody on Coach Dooley's list is if a coach refers them to me. So, who's a vendor that you have just loved to work with that you would shout out to others?
We use BSN for pretty much everything, which I know is a big vendor.
Michael Husted?
Yes, Michael Husted.
Coach Rob said the same thing.
Yeah. Now, I will say also a smaller company, Georgia Trophies.
Okay.
They've been great with all of our trophies at the end of the season.
Awesome. I don't have them on there, and I will have to get them added. So, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's been a long day at school. You got to get home to that growing family of yours, but best of luck in everything you do in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.